What is up, guys? It's your boy Rick Gakis, and today we are going to be discussing the most important upgrade you can get. Frankly, the most important thing you can do within the new Renegades expansion for Destiny 2. It doesn't matter your power level, it doesn't matter your skill level. This should be your North Star within Renegades. This is what everyone should be trying to do as soon as possible. Now, why? Well, this is what my loot looked like before getting this upgrade, and then in the very next game after getting it, this was the quality of my loot. And so, let's get started. Alright, so what is this Omega key upgrade everyone should be getting? Well, it's going to be located at Spider. If you head to him, you will see that he has the Renegades Gear Tier Upgrade. Now, this says permanently increases the tiers for all Renegades gear rewards by 1. So, there was a lot of questions going into Renegades when it was announced that our power levels would actually not reset, and rather we would keep our current power levels. So a lot of people are going into Renegades in the 400s or above, and we were thinking, are we just going to get tier 5s immediately as soon as we start playing Renegades? It turns out no. Pretty much all of the Renegades loot has kind of been held back a tier, and so this is the thing that will make tier 5 Renegades loot rain from the sky. Now, you can get tier 5s already in the portal, but if you want those blasters, if you want the brand new armor sets, this is the upgrade you need. And remember, this doesn't just impact the Lawless Frontier loot, this impacts every single piece of loot from Renegades. So if I'm buying weapons from a vendor in the Tharsis Outpost, there used to be tier 3s with a small chance for tier 4s, now they're tier 4s with a chance for tier 5s. So that is going to be insane for target farming the loot you actually want. So, how do you get it? Well, as you can see right here, the requirement is that you have to unlock the Fellow Friend Triumph in the Renegades seal. So open up your Journeys tab, go to your titles, and for Renegades you can see Fellow Friend right here, and the requirement for its completion is to reach maximum rank for a syndicate. Now it turns out the maximum rank is just rank 5. Even though when you get to rank 5, you can actually keep ranking up that syndicate just to get more rewards every time you tier up, but I digress. You're actually going to see some footage of me getting the Totality Division to the max rank of rank 5 right here. You can see like I'm almost there. I turn in a few more ingots, and as soon as I reach rank 5, I get that special shader that's unique to the syndicate, and I can now go and purchase this upgrade from Spider. And so this is one of those things where it's a fairly simplistic requirement, just reach max rank. But if you do this efficiently, you can do it in maybe a day or two. And if you're doing things wrong, it's going to take you about a week. So how do you rank up one of these syndicates as fast as possible and reach that max rank? Well, first and foremost, guys, if you still haven't decided which syndicate to pledge to, I've done a full video breaking down the value each one brings. Check it out, linked right up above. But once you make your decision, pick a syndicate to pledge to and commit. The worst thing you can do is be switching your pledges. You absolutely need to commit to a certain syndicate, because you do not want to be spreading reputation around. You want to be funneling all the rep gains into one syndicate. It's so important that even if you realize you made a bad choice, you align with the Pikers and then you don't really like the Pikers, Renegades abilities, just gut it out. Stick it out until you get to max rank and then switch over to a different pledge, because again, this upgrade is just that important. Now, when we're talking about getting a syndicate ranked up fast, there's a few different contracts you need to know about. First of all, you have priority contracts. So whatever syndicate you pledge to, and so again, in my case, it was the Totality Division, you get a priority contract that resets every day. And so if you miss a day and then you try to do it the next day, you won't get 2. Like, you've missed out on that priority contract. You want to make sure you get that priority contract done every single day, guys. Now, these priority contracts seem to always come in 2 steps. The first step is to do 2 different Lawless Frontier missions successfully extract in territory controlled by the other 2 syndicates. So again, I'm with Totality Division. I need to do 2 successful exfils in Piker or Tharsis Reformation controlled zones. Then there'll be another step to do 1 successful exfil in a contested node, right? When you get that done, the priority contract will complete. But while you're doing that priority contract, you can actually double dip in reputation gains by coinciding them with your other contracts. So, below your priority contract, you are always going to have 3 different contracts, 1 for each of the 3 different syndicates. Completing one of these contracts will award a certain chunk of reputation that's less than a priority contract to whatever syndicate that contract is for. So if I have a Piker contract to go and do a sabotage mission and I do that, I get a chunk of rep for the Pikers. I get literally nothing for the Totality Division that I have pledged to. And so this is actually resulting in a huge mistake I see a lot of people making. And that is when you're trying to double dip or triple dip in these contracts. Because sometimes you can actually do all 3 of these contracts at once. Heck, sometimes you can do 4 at once if they also align with your priority contract. And what that means is that, so let's say your priority contract is to go and do a mission in Tharsis or Piker territory, okay? Then your Totality Division contract is to use the Imperium drop pod. Okay, I can put on that Renegade ability and I'll get that done. Then the one under that, the Piker one, well, it wants you to do Bounty Hunt or Sabotage. And then the final one is going to be for the Tharsis. They want you to do either Pikers or Totality. Well, this all means, wait a minute, if I do a Piker Bounty Hunt, you know, maybe in a contested zone, I get all of those contracts done at the same time, right? Now, that is hyper efficient. But again, if your goal is to get one syndicate ranked up as fast as possible, who cares that you get Piker rep? Do you know what I mean? Like, if you're not aligned with Piker, Piker rep means nothing to you. That's how you want to treat it. And so, again, a huge mistake people I see making is that they will actually try to coincide with 2 contracts at once. And yes, while that is more efficient in terms of overall rep, they'll actually maybe ignore the main contract from the syndicate they're sided with. Guys, if you're only able to do 1 contract at a time, right? It only coincides with 1, but that 1 is the syndicate you repped for, 100% do it. Don't even question it. The other contracts, they don't even matter. They don't even exist. You want to make sure every single Lawless Frontier mission you are doing always aligns with the contract of your pledged syndicate. That is how you will level up your syndicate extremely fast. Now, on top of that, guys, you also want to be trying to do slightly more difficult missions in contested zones and so on. And when you are in those missions, sometimes it is worth going out of your way, finding those hidden chests. Don't take too long, because it's one of those things where, okay, you found every single hidden chest, but it would have been more efficient to just finish off the mission and get into a new mission, right? But those hidden chests can give dark matter ingots. So that is the next way you're going to level up. Dark matter ingots can be actually deposited at a chest in whatever syndicate's area of the cantina of the Tharsis spaceport is, for reps of 100. You get 100 rep per 10 ingots. And so if you're doing missions in the contested zone, and generally those seem to award a bit more ingots, man, you can see in the background gameplay, I'll get chunks of 14 ingots, sometimes more, and that's an entire 100 rep for my syndicate, right? So do not ignore the ingots. You will get them, for example, from a key card, right? If you have a key card and you do access that zone, you're going to get a few ingots there, right? And so those can be worth going after and pursuing, but you never want to go and, do a mission that doesn't align with your contract just to get a key card. Like, it should always be that if you can do a contract mission, right, the contract that aligns with your pledged syndicate that also you have a key card for, that's the best scenario, right? But you never want to do the opposite. You always want to make sure, again, like I said previously, every single mission you are ever doing in the Lost Frontier should always align with the contract of your pledged faction. Now, something else I need to actually mention that I discovered is that alt characters have refreshed priority contracts daily. And so that means if you do have 2 characters, right, especially this is relevant if you purchase a campaign skip, so you've spent no time in the campaign, going through it with your second character, you can actually align with the same syndicate and do 2 priority contracts a day. 1 on your main character, 1 on your second character. Heck, technically you can do 3 priority contracts in a single day, guys, which again is going to be huge for reputation gains. Now that is much more niche, but if we're talking about the fastest possible ways to rank up your syndicate, that is one of them. And so guys, there you have it. That's going to be how to rank up your syndicate as fast as possible and how to get that super important upgrade. Guys, hope you enjoyed this video and found it informative. If you did, please remember to help me out by simply rating and especially sharing this video. If you guys want to see more Destiny 2 content similar to this, don't be afraid to slap that subscribe button. If you want to get in touch with me and keep up to date with the latest channel activity, the best way is to follow me on Twitter at RickCacus. That is linked in the description down below. Again, I hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, have a good day.